Hello, I am Dan.
And I'm Max.
And this is Fightography.
There are a lot of new releases coming out within the next month or two.
Yes.
Ones that we're very excited for, ones that are going to be very valuable to providing us actors for this podcast. Do you know of any film that Tom Holland is in?
Well,
coming up, Dan?
He's in a certain badly cast Uncharted movie, which is just both the leads have been terribly miscast. Sorry, Tom, we love you, but you're a bit... I don't know, you're not a great fit for Nathan Drake. Mark Wahlberg, we don't love you, and also you're a terrible fit.
Yes. Well, I was going to say, do you know who stars alongside Tom Holland?
Marky Mark Wahlberg.
Mark Wahlberg.
Oh, no.
And for that reason... we're going to be talking about Dwayne Johnson today.
Oh, God, that was a close one there. Oh, no, not Mark. Please, no.
No offence to Mark Wahlberg, but I'm not his biggest
I'm pretty
fan,
sure he
I'd
killed
say.
a dude, right? He went to jail for either assaulting a dude
Did he?
or actually killing a dude, yeah. So I'm not too worried about offending him.
Oh, okay. So yeah, Dwayne Johnson is the man I have chosen today. Yes, and you may say, Max, what film is Dwayne Johnson in? And if I scroll down to his filmography section, which I can't see, no, he is in a animated film of the DC League of Super Pets, I believe it's called, or something like that. Which is a new cartoon film coming out. Also, within a few months' time, he's coming out with Black Adam, which is a superhero film. I think that relates to Shazam in some form.
He's like evil Shazam, yeah.
Yeah, and I thought, why wait all those months and talk about that when I'm sure we'll have lots of material? Why not just talk about it now in conjunction with the DC League of Super Pets? That new kids film that's coming out, and talk about Mr. Dwayne Douglas Johnson.
Ooh.
Ring name, of course, The Rock. I have 8 picks today. We're going to go with 8 picks and a wild card. The wild card is another fun one.
Ooh, okay.
And yeah, I'm very excited for this one because there's a lot of godly character. He's sort of typecast as just the best person ever.
Which jungle adventurer will come out on top? Because they're all some sort of jungle adventurer.
How many jungle adventurers? Yeah, there's a few. So, shall we get into it?
Indeed, the hierarchy of power in Fightography is about to change forever. have you seen that? That's
okay.
Have you seen that's the DC fandom when they did their last one last year? They had a whole bit before the Black Adam teaser, and they were like, the hierarchy of power in the DC universe is about to change forever. And it was just such...
I did not.
It was such cringy fandom speak. It was
Yeah, I've sort of lost interest in the DCEU or DC or whatever it's meant to be. I've heard that they're sort of kind of scrapping it as well.
Yeah,
that they're sort of taking what's-his-face's films out of canon.
Yeah, that's apparently the Flash is going to rewrite it. So Michael Keaton's Batman is the new main Batman, and Affleck and Cavill are gone.
Good.
It's just such a mess.
Good.
Superman and Lois is fun though.
People are just going to care about that more.
Yeah, clearly. People...
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a big fan of Zack Snyder's films. I know people really like his second try at the Justice League, but he made Man of Steel. Man of Steel wasn't great. I mean, people look back on it now and and can enjoy it, and I think you can watch it and enjoy it. But when it came out, and I think still today, there's a lot of critiques about it. Batman vs Superman was awful. was really poor. And again, we sort of look back and sort of see it in a new light and have a bit more fun with it, but it wasn't very good. So Man of Steel, okay. Batman vs Superman, not great. The first Justice League, even worse somehow. And I thought, even though that Zack Snyder's new one was better than Justice League, as does everyone think, 4 hours for a film, a lot of it hadn't been reshot, or a lot of the shots used, or a lot of the shots that I found very offensive were still used, which makes me think that, that was him behind the camera filming Gal Gadot's arse.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think he had multiple attempts at it. It didn't work. So I'm not gonna cry. I'm not very upset that his films aren't canon, but it's just a mess, isn't it?
Oh, it's
your foundations are built upon not great films.
It was built upon trying to catch up to Marvel, and like, don't bother. Just do either do the same thing, but one film at a time, the way Marvel did. No one's going to mind that much that they got there before you. So what, you know? Or
I wonder. I don't know.
I think the best approach for the DCEU going forward is to lead into the whole Zack Snyder's Justice League, James Gunn's The Suicide Squad, and sort of have really creative voice-led movies, which do kind of link if you want to look into it, but they're not focused on linking up. It's just about... Because that's the one area where Marvel is desperately lagging behind. The fact that it's all so... it feels so similar and so the same. DC really has a chance to strike in that one weak spot and go, right, we're going to have really different, unique voice films.
Part of me was sort of thinking, like, I know people want to see the Justice League and stuff like that, but would it have been a better strategy just to do, for like 10 years, just do solo films, do like 5 Superman films, do 5 Batman films, then just focus on the solo films, and then maybe really down the line you could maybe do some interconnecting stuff for about one film, but rather than making them all interlinked like Marvel do, why not make them solo? Because they're the best, like, DC's best films are solo films.
Yeah.
Well, they're all Batman films, to be honest, but, you know... the Joker, better than a lot of DCEU films.
hang on. God, that's like choosing between shit and shit.
Than almost all of them. No, I think Joker gets a hard time. I understand that. Well, I understand its criticism.
It goes back to what he said last week, where I'd be easier on it if the director wasn't so pretentious about the whole thing. If he was just like... You know, if he wasn't trying... Because in so many interviews, he's been like, I didn't make a comic book movie. I made a proper movie that's disguised as a comic book movie to get the pop culture appeal and all this shit that he's saying. I'm like, dude, you made a fucking comic book movie. The reason people came to see it is because the word Joker is in the title. If it wasn't, you'd get nowhere near as much success as you've had. So own it. Stop being such a pretentious douchebag. So that's why I'm so hard on Joker's flaws, because the director is so pretentious about how he made this masterpiece of cinema and it has nothing to do with the fact that he slapped a comic book character in the title. Rant over.
So Dwayne Johnson.
So Dwayne Johnson, yes.
Shall we get on with it?
Probably should. Yeah, we had a nice little tangent about the DCE.
But no, interesting opinions, and I think, you know, if you can back up your opinion, you know, I think it's good. I think it's an interesting. The
last
take.
thing I'll say is I do want to see some hero edit down Zack Snyder's Justice League into like a 2.5 hour movie, which is what it would be if it was properly released for cinema, and just to see what that would look like.
Quick question before we move on.
Yes.
One word answer. Okay. Jared Joker or Joaquin Joker?
Joaquin!
Joaquin is much better.
He is. Like, it wasn't Joaquin, it was the way he was treated, I guess. Like, if you gave him some solid material, he'd kill it, because Joaquin's great.
Oh, he carries that film.
Oh, absolutely.
Definitely deserved the Oscar.
He was great, yeah.
Anyway, so Dwayne Johnson.
Yeah.
So, number one, we have... Well, obviously, we'll get the already noted ones out of the way. We've got Black Adam, which is an interesting one, and it might be the first for this podcast, because we're talking about a character who is yet to exist in the film realm.
Interesting.
And I was wondering, knowing your superhero prowess and knowledge, if you could sort of introduce us to Black Adam, give us a little taste of what he's like without maybe spoiling a film we don't really know anything about.
Okay, so on my knowledge on like sort of DC's deeper canon is not as good as my knowledge on sort of Marvel's deeper canon in some areas. But Black Adam, I sort of know the gist of. Basically, he's exactly the same as Shazam in terms of power set, but he's evil, more or less. That's his deal.
Oh, okay.
That is that classic superhero thing of the villain is evil mirror of the hero. Like your Ironmonger to your Iron Man, your Yellow Jacket to your Ant-Man in the films, that kind of deal. So, he's got super strength. In the tease, we can like disintegrate that dude by just like holding him because he's got lightning powers, super speed, flight. So yeah, basically Shazam, but bad. Is his powers.
It's quite tricky because essentially, aside from Batman, I feel that every DC EU character is just God. It's like, what superpowers do they have? God. So I did some research, and so he's got super strength, super speed. He's basically got all the powers of Superman, essentially.
Yeah, but I don't think he has the laser eyes or like the freeze breath or stuff, does he?
No. So he's got the stamina of Shu, which is superhuman stamina and invulnerability. So that's good. Good. We've got the swiftness of Horus, which is superhuman speed and flight. The strength of Ammon, superhuman strength. I thought we've already had superhuman. Oh, no. The wisdom of Zeuti. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong. Which is genius level intellect and clairvoyance. Ooh. The power of Aten, which is control and emission of magical lightning and thunder. Ooh. The courage of Mehen, so again, sorry about pronunciation, which is courage and proficient hand-to-hand combat.
Wow.
And longevity. So, pretty OP.
So we've basically done what we did last week all over again, and shows an unbeatable
Well, you say this, Dan, you say this. And I got very passionate about how difficult it was to really introduce a godlike power into this battle royale scenario and not have them win. But I think I've given it a bloody good attempt.
Ooh, okay.
And I've done some research. I've done active research in how to kill Black Adam.
Oh, wow.
So I'm gonna.
Now I
don't want to.
Yes, I was just going to say, I'm not as familiar, like I said, but he's basically Shazam, but with the Egyptian gods, by the sounds of it. But does that mean that he has a word where if he says it, he transforms into a feeble humanoid Dwayne Johnson, or is he permanently God mode?
Yes. No, I have read, I have no knowledge of this, so I apologise if this is wrong. This is very brief research. Well, actually, I looked into this, and throughout the entire article, they just say magic word. And then I think I looked at, some column strips, and I think it might be Shazam. I don't know if I'm wrong, but I don't know if it's just the same word.
Oh, okay. That's weird, because like, the whole thing with Shazam is that, like, it's an acronym for the gods he gets his powers from, I'm pretty sure. So it's weird that they have the same word.
Maybe he says Black Adam.
Maybe.
Yeah, when Teth Adam says the magic word Shazam, he is transformed into Mighty Adam.
Oh, interesting.
So, yeah.
That's interesting.
It is bizarre. Some would say it was lazy writing. No, I'm joking.
Did you know...
Deadpool.
Oh, yeah, you get the hardcore DC fans on this. Did you know that... Shazam, originally he was called Captain Marvel, and then there was a whole thing with Marvel and trying to use the name Captain Marvel.
Yes, it's a terrible name, so I don't know why it was fought over so heavily.
I guess if you're Marvel, having Captain Marvel owned by the opposition is a bit of a captured flag kind of deal.
Well, I was actually thinking on a similar sort of vein, like what shithousing would it be if the MCU just hired Jason Momoa, and they could pay him a crap ton of money, And they introduced Jason Momoa as like generic fish god.
Oh, make him Namor
into the MCU, and then just have him killed immediately.
Oh, it wouldn't even be like generic. Make him like Namor the Submariner, who is literally Marvel's Aquaman.
Oh, but then they'd have to like kill him immediately as a sort of like FU to the DCEU, and sort of kind of presenting that, oh look, we can shit on you guys and be like really petty and evil.
What they should have done, they should have not cast Oscar Isaac as Moon Knight, because as much as I love him, just for the piss take here, they should have cast Ben Affleck as Moon Knight, cast Henry Cavill as a character called Hyperion, who's basically Marvel's Superman, cast Jason Momoa as Namor, who's Marvel's Wonder Woman. Just cast all the Justice League, recast them as like Marvel versions.
Yeah.
Just to
call it like Captain DC.
Oh god, yeah. But yeah, interesting. So
anyway,
Black Adam.
Yeah, Black Adam. And moving on, you'll think, well, Max, how is Black Adam going to get defeated? And when I was doing my research, a lot of articles came up about who is stronger, Black Adam or Superman. And it was a very divided conversation. And Dan, you may be going, well, Dwayne Johnson never played Superman.
I would say that.
But who he did play was Crypto the Superdog in DC League of Super Pets.
Of course.
Which is why Crypto the Superdog is coming in as a rival to Black Adam. As an adversary to Black Adam.
Wow.
Well, I'm sure he will be at some point.
Crypto the Superdog.
In case you didn't know...
Did you see the old cartoon?
You could ask... The TV show, yeah, I used to watch it religiously. I thought it was mint.
Crypto,
because they had Batdog, and they had the Joker's hyenas,
yes,
as well. So they basically had like every sort of kind of DC character, but just in like animal form, which I thought was pretty fun as a kid. So yeah, Crypto the Superdog. And here's the thing: you may think, well, Crypto the Superdog isn't Superman, so it's Black Adam's easily going to defeat Crypto the Superdog, but Crypto the Superdog has, I feel, every single power that Superman does, including laser vision.
Yes.
So he's just a dog. So I feel, and an unsuspecting dog as well. Nobody kills a dog, not even the bad guy in a comic book film.
Oh no.
Nobody kills the dog, unless you're the villain in John Wick. So I think he's possibly more powerful than Superman. This is my chosen winner already. I am backing. I couldn't save the dog last week, but this week I will save the dog. Crypto's gonna win. That's my Crypto.
My backing.
Yeah. But it's already a strong start. I don't know what much else we can say about Crypto the Superdog. If you don't know, it's a dog. It's Superman's dog, and he has every single power of Superman, which is super strength, super speed, lasers, super stamina, all of the above. He's essentially God, and essentially got the same powers as Black Adam, but his powers are not fueled by magic, which is something else that I did in my research. Which apparently, if I gained this sense that if your powers are sort of fueled by magic, then it's not as good.
Well,
as I don't know, but that's sort of the impression I got reading these articles.
Something I do know about DC is that it's kind of the opposite, actually. What is?
Oh, really?
Yeah, basically, Superman.
Hard-hitting journalism.
Superman has obviously kryptonite is a weakness, but another weakness is he's vulnerable to magic. Basically, if you have magic powers, Superman is vulnerable to you more so than. It's not like he's instantly killed, but like if you punch him with magic, he feels it. Whereas if you punch him normally, he wouldn't. So Crypto may have some issues with the magic nature of Black Adam.
Well, I looked on various forums on Reddit of who would win between Black Adam and Superman. And immediately the questions that came up was, which version of Superman? Is it post light speed Superman or is it post Black Adam? And I really didn't know. And I think someone said, if it was like normal Superman versus normal Black Adam, I was like, yeah, well, let's go with that. Normal versions of the characters. Then apparently Superman wins 6/7 times out of 10. but
I can believe that. Yeah,
I don't know.
I can believe that. It's he'd feel the hits more.
Apparently, a different version of yeah. Apparently, a different version of Black Adam apparently wipes the floor with him, but we're not. We're using classic, normal versions of the characters because I can't go into superhero lore.
Well, here's the thing: with DC, you've got like the original comics, and then they had a big event called the Crisis in like the 70s or 80s, and then suddenly. I think that reduced the powers down a lot of several key heroes. And then they had like another reboot, and then Superman got strong again, and then he rebooted it again, and he got weak, and then he rebooted it again, and he died, and then came back, and he was strong. So basically, DC continuity's messy in the comics as it is in the films, more or less.
Good.
But yeah, your classic Superman, but as a dog, versus your classic Black Adam as Black Adam.
Yeah. And I think him being a dog will become an advantage because apparently Black Adam is arrogant. Apparently,
I can believe that.
Apparently, that's one of the ways Superman would exploit Black Adam, his arrogance.
I hear that Black Adam signed a contract where he can't lose a fight on screen, and fights can only end in a draw or a win
against Vin Diesel.
Yeah.
God, that's
the Fast and Furious franchise must be so dull because no one can actually win a fight on screen anymore. They just have to fight for a bit and then end.
Are gonna get to that, and it's gonna be very fun. Anyway, on to our next character, and this is a film I had to watch for the first time the other day, and I actually was pleasantly surprised. I enjoyed it quite a lot, which always makes me happy.
This isn't the one that
I enjoy enjoying films. No, this isn't the one that I hated. Much the contrary.
Oh.
Next, we're doing Maui from Moana.
Oh, another god.
I see what's happening here.
What can I say except you're welcome?
It's very catchy. Dwayne Johnson's actually sung a few bops. There's that rap song that came out recently.
Oh, God.
And the songs from Moana are quite catchy.
It's about drive, it's about power. We stay hungry, we devour. Oh, God.
So Maui is an interesting character. He's a demigod. Spoilers for the film, for the record. So when he was a youthful child, his parents sort of banished him. This is sort of written in, I guess, the law or religion of where Moana is set. So the rules are very different to, I guess, Christianity and stuff like that. But so Maui was tossed away as a child because his parents did not love him, and he was sort of picked up by the gods and sort of made into a demigod. He was given a hook, which, to describe it, is sort of like this kind of long... I mean, if you see the poster of the film, he's probably holding it. This sort of kind of long, thick, big hook. It's like the size of his torso, almost. So it's a big hook.
Yeah.
And it sort of gives him the powers of shape-shifting, as well as he can actually use that hook as a weapon. So throughout the film, he shape-shifts into many different animals, to sort of, and I think the idea is to sort of kind of give himself a better stance, I guess, in his surroundings. So there's a lot of sea, so he transforms into a bird, an eagle. It sort of looks a bit like a griffin, but I could be wrong. So he can fly. When he's on sort of kind of a volcanic land, he turns into, I guess, a sort of lizard, with the idea that a lizard could maybe withstand hotter surfaces. So he transforms into animals that sort of suit his cause at the time. So he's very strategic with it. He turns into a bug. He turns into sort of like a shark man from Suicide Squad, which is quite fun. And yeah, I thought Moana as a film itself was actually quite good. You know, it's a kids' film. It's aimed at kids. And I think it's quite a good message. I find it quite interesting, really, because I think Disney in the late 90s sort of cracked the structure of how to make a good film that people will enjoy, that children will enjoy, and the parents will enjoy their kids enjoying. And I really enjoyed Moana. I think it's a really cool film. I didn't really think there were any flaws. I think that it dragged a little bit, a very tiny amount, and for 5 minutes in the second act, but it's very solid film.
Yeah, it's fun.
Probably one of the better kids films that's come out recently. But this isn't a criticism at all. I just find this really interesting, and this sort of questioning why films like Moana do so well. And if I was to sort of walk you through the film, what the film is all about, it's a coming-of-age film, like many films, but this film essentially follows what it means to sort of grow up and how you grow up. Let me just walk you through the structure of it, because I think it's quite interesting. So you start out as a child, or these characters start out as a child with all these dreams, with all these aspirations, and you've got sort of a tough father figure, in this film it's a father figure who sort of tells you the rules of the world. Don't go here because it's dangerous, come here because it's safe. Do this to help people, don't do that because it's not nice to people. And, you have the father figure, this child who sees everything.
Before we go much,
yes, it's the guy from Boba Fett. It is
indeed Boba Fett himself, or Boba Fett himself, yeah. Oh, no.
Yes. So you've got this child who just wants everything, who has dreams, who has aspirations. In this, it's the sea. That's the sort of symbol for sort of aspirations. But then you've got the father figure who's sort of like, well, no, it's difficult. You can't go out there. It's dangerous. So what you have is, you have this sort of dynamic established throughout the first act. And then you go into this character's first attempt at going out into the world. And I guess this could equate to many people. So going to school for the first time, walking for the first time, going to the shops by yourself, this sort of going out into the world by yourself. And it backfires, and it doesn't work out. And, you come all the way back to land, back to the father, and the father tells you, no, you can't, don't reach for those aspirations. Or not don't reach for those aspirations, but no, the world outside is dangerous. You've got to be careful. If you go out there, you could get hurt. And sort of preparing you for the harsh realities of the world. So that's what the father figure's doing. It's preparing you for what the greater world is. But you still have these aspirations, and you failed the first time. And then you go out for the second time. And a lot of the time, it's maybe forced. Sometimes you don't always have a choice, or something inspires you to sort of go out into the world. In Moana's case, it's sort of the death of a loved one. And Moana goes out into the world, and she goes out, she's really excited, really happy, really enthusiastic. She's doing what she's wanted all this time, but then it's really fucking difficult. The waves are crashing against her. Everything seems against her. It's not working. Things are crashing. Things aren't going to plan. It doesn't seem fair. It feels like it's her against everything else, and it sucks. And she gets punished for it. She gets washed away. She gets basically absolutely destroyed and demoralized. Sort of like we do. Maybe, maybe not in such a dramatic sense, hopefully. But, you go to the university for the first time, you move away from home, and it's scary, it's different, we don't know what to do a lot of the time, we feel like it's us against the world. I mean, how many people relates to that idea? And then you meet Maui, Dwayne Johnson's character, who is the sort of kind of knucklehead, and he's the sort of idiot, he sort of quips jokes, he's self-set, he's so like an amoral charlotte, no, that's a bit extreme, but he's a buffoon, and you meet a buffoon, and it's interesting because the buffoon is always sort of praised. And it's like, if you look at it in the wrong way, you say, oh, well, being an idiot serves you well. You do well if you're the buffoon. And it's not quite the case. So I know this is going into such a rant, but I think it's quite important. So the buffoon has had struggles as well. Maui is stranded for 1,000 years, and he has no means of escape. And I don't think it's the buffoonery that's necessarily praised, although it is a method of survival, which I think is quite an interesting idea. in the world and society and psychology. But what really makes them a successful character, what makes Maui a successful character, is the fact that he learns to be noble and he learns to stick with you. And what that is that's you meeting your friends at university, meeting the people that are the idiots of the world, but they're also very noble, very trusting, and you know they've got your back. And you go on this adventure and you essentially go through the harsh tides together, and life sucks and it's hard and it's difficult, but then you learn, you defeat the great big obstacle in your way, and then you come home with all this new knowledge, with all this kind of found skills that you found on yourself on the hard shore, and you are now a grown-up, you are now an adult, and you're now ready to come back and sort of give that experience to everybody else. And that's sort of the story of life, and that's why it makes Disney films successful. And they cracked this because structurally I feel Moana is identical to The Lion King. The Lion King does the exact same beat, and it's not there genuinely isn't a criticism, but The Lion King is the same beats. Simba wants to go out into the land. He's told no by his father. Something tragic happens. His father dies. He's forced out into the world. He meets the buffoons. He learns how to handle himself in this kind of strange world. He comes back, defeats the evil, and, brings up his experiences to kind of continue the line. And I just think it's really interesting how that structure is so successful, and they're in two completely different films, two hugely successful films. Nobody, I feel, has made the connection that it's essentially the same structure dressed differently.
Yeah, I guess.
But it shows that the success of it is because I think it relates so heavily to the traditional Western experience growing into an adult. And I think that's why they're successful.
I feel perhaps that's like, if you look into more sort of coming of age stories, I feel that maybe that is the sort of standard template for coming of age stories in general. So maybe it's even further widespread. But yeah, I think it's good that you can't really you don't immediately notice upon like watching the films, because I watched Lion King and I saw Moana Christmas before last, I think it was, and I can't say I really noticed any similarities. But one day,
you don't. Yeah. You genuinely don't, unless you study these things and genuinely have an annoying mind who questions everything. But that isn't like, it genuinely is not a criticism. It's more of just an interesting thing. Yeah. I think it's a really good film. And this is the thing, and the reason why I love The Lion King, other than it just being a great film, is that I like to believe that it's a film that everybody can watch. But realistically, The Lion King is more suited to sort of how a man rises to the expectations of his father. That's sort of the more straightforward connection.
Yeah.
It's all about Simba living up to Mufasa and it's essentially Simba becoming Mufasa.
I feel like you can extrapolate.
And I think what I like about Moana is, you can, and you can make it more like general, and, it's equally good for girls and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I think what Moana sort of does The Lion King, but it is aimed more for girls, which, again, is important.
Yeah. And,
again, why it gets a lot of success. And the music's good.
Oh, yeah.
Lin-Manuel Miranda did the music.
Some great songs. How Far I'll Go, that's a great one.
Yeah, no. That one's a really catchy. It's Neil Wim. I feel bad for him because he's been slated a lot recently because his demo track for Tick Tick Boom's been released.
Yes.
And people have given him a hard time about it. But I feel bad for, like, when you've written
I didn't know that.
Hamilton, which is, well, I think it started, so his demo got released of him singing, they're singing Happy Birthday, that one.
Yeah.
And it's, well, this is the thing, because I've done stuff where when you're learning a new musical, it's quite difficult. And, he might have known it really well, but people have sort of had fun with it. I think maybe in more of a kind of jokey sort of light-hearted way, sort of being like, oh, it's not as good as Andrew Garfield's or whatever. But I've seen some videos that really kind of go into it and really kind of are like, oh my God, Lin-Manuel Miranda is awful. And I feel really bad for him because Okay, maybe in that specific clip compared to Andrew Garfield, who'd had months to train on this, and it looks to me like it's sort of the demo, so early days of him rehearsing it. I could be wrong. And okay, maybe it isn't as good as Andrew Garfield's, but this guy has released several musicals, one being Hamilton, which is probably the best musical of maybe like the last couple of years. Quite comfortably. In that musical, there's like 30 songs, all that he's written. Like, over half of them are absolute bangers. He's written, like, great songs for Moana. I just feel a bit bad for him. I think he's got a bit of a hard time, you know?
Yeah.
I know it may not be great, but the dude's done very well.
Yeah, like, the song in Tick, Tick, Boom isn't written for him, so, like, of course he's not going to be as good as when he's singing songs that are written for him. You know, it's not his style. But yeah, he's great. I like it. I like Lin-Manuel Miranda. He's... obviously, Hamilton is fantastic, like you say. He's good in his always little cameos where he pops up. I watched In the Heights the other week. That's pretty solid. That was a good time because he did the music for that.
Yeah.
So yeah,
he's done Encanto, which is the new Disney film.
Yes, I need to check that out. Actually,
I imagine is quite similar to Moana. I'll be quite interested to watch it and see how the structure, if it's similar. Maybe it's completely different. I don't know. I just thought that was an interesting sort of connection and discussion into sort of the psyche of our society.
Yeah, no, it's, I think we're currently we're back in the Moana on the Sea being battered by everything portion of our lives, I feel. Me, certainly.
Oh, yeah, as us in our early 20s, we've met the buffoons, I think, or we've met a good few of the buffoons, but we're still on the sea, we're still getting fucked. And it's important for people to learn that the world is tough. But if you stick with it, you hang with the right people, you know, you can do it.
You can go
I think that's why it's a good film.
But yeah, it's a good film.
But Maui, shapeshifter with a hook, demigod. So I think
now, what about
back to the whole battle royal?
What about the powers that he sings about? Because you mentioned how he dragged the sun or into the sky or something, doesn't he? And he sings about how he has done all this
and how he makes coconuts.
Yeah.
Coconuts occur loads in that film, which is quite funny. Well, you don't actually see any of that. I feel his sort of mortal body powers are his shape-shifting and his big-ass hook.
He does have quite a bit of strength.
I think they're skills.
Because, he lifts it...
Yeah, he's quite strong.
Because he traps Moana in a cave with a boulder, doesn't he?
Yeah. I wouldn't say he's had, super strength or anything, but, you know, he's a strong individual. He can shape-shift. I think that's going to be massive. He's got a big hook. If the hook breaks, I get the sense that he's not able to shapeshift.
That's like a key to his power, isn't it? I think. Yeah.
But you've got to do a lot of damage to it to break that hook. So he's got a big, nasty hook, and he can shapeshift. So I think, I don't know, he could do the whole Ant-Man with Black Adam.
Oh,
you know,
finally pulling out the Thanos.
And then, yeah, you know, it's possible.
Gotta go up the airs.
Anyway, shall we move on to our next character?
Yes.
Now, for this one, very rare, I have prepared a speech.
Wow. Okay.
For this next film.
Now, can I guess, is this the shit
and it's quite
film?
Important.
Is this the shit one?
Well, listen to the speech.
Oh, okay.
And let's see what happens.
Okay.
Let's see what happens. Okay. Cinema is who we are today. A physical manifestation of emotion explored across the planet, past continents, from the surface of the ocean to the top of any mountain. The imperceptible high combining visual art, potent imagery crafting with every corner of the human mind. Music, thousands of years of sound, song, expressing the inner shadow of every child inside of us. Direction, editing, colour, light, spectrum, diversity. Cinema is the crescendo of human emotion. Within these beating moments, the feeling of all that is to be human, from the nerves in the tip of your toes to the cells at the front of your brain, is explored. We laugh, gasp, jump, and weep to cinema, because cinema reminds us of who we are today. I sat through Hobbs and Shaw for 2.5 hours and felt absolutely fuck all.
I knew it was Hobbs and Shaw. As soon as you started talking about emotion, I was like, oh yeah, it's Hobbs and Shaw.
I cannot, like, I don't want to, I don't want to be disrespectful, I know everybody worked really hard, and, a lot of work went into place, a lot of money has went into it, but I'd watched films like Moana, I watched Her recently, very powerful, very emotive films, and I sat down with a beverage, and I sat down to watch Hobbs and Shaw, which is 2 hours and, 16 minutes long. Way too long. And from the beginning of it to the end, I felt nothing. I felt like I was just sort of... Like, if I'd slept for those 2 hours and 16 minutes and woken up, I would have sort of... My body would have experienced the same sort of energy.
Now, I do feel that
there was nothing.
Whilst I agree that I love to feel things when I watch cinema, I love to be moved, I love to laugh and cry. I do feel there is there are different categories of films. There are the fantastic films where you feel emotion, and then there are the kids' films where you sort of have a bit more of a good time, and then there are the big dumb fun films where you do just sort of have to switch off your brain and just enjoy the pretty colours
I have fun.
and the pretty
I
explosions.
smile. I laugh with big dumb films. Con Air is brilliant.
Hang on.
Why
are you calling Con Air a big dumb fun? Con Air is not big dumb fun. That is a masterpiece of cinema.
Well, yeah. It is a masterpiece of cinema, but it's also big dumb fun. But it's like this. I thought Hobbs and Shaw was meant to be like the good one out of the fact. The thing with the Fast and Furious films, they're super, 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 super dumb. But this one didn't even feel that dumb. I mean, don't get me wrong, it was dumb, but it didn't even feel that dumb.
Doesn't Idris Elba play like a cyborg who calls himself Black Superman? That seems pretty dumb to me.
Yes.
Oh, Black Superman.
Yeah. Basically, and that's... The thing with... The problem was, because I had seen a trailer, and I'd seen one of the opening clip of the sort of side-by-side of Hobbs and Shaw getting ready. And if you've seen those things, you've sort of seen the best parts of the film.
I've seen the film,
so
great.
when those things happen, when the good jokes... Yeah. The good jokes, if there are good jokes in this film, are in the trailer, and there's nothing else other than that. There was one moment where Idris Elba sort of gets on a bike, which I was like, oh, cool. And the end fight scene reminded me of the later Matrix film.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, I felt nothing. Not even the cameo. Like, this is the thing. It was... I don't want to be mean. This is the thing, Dan. I don't want to be mean. I like Moana. I love talking about Moana. I love talking about the structure and the importance and how it affects our society and how it's a good lesson for children to learn growing up. I enjoy talking about those things. I don't enjoy talking about a film that I didn't enjoy. But when you have actors like... Spoilers alert. When you have cameos by Kevin Hart, Ryan Reynolds... and the extent of their cameo is them improving.
Wow. I do feel
that's what it was. The film was just improvs from act. I mean, Kevin Hart. No offense. I like him. Seems like a nice guy, but he's more of a comedian, surely, than an actor. Yeah. I don't know. I was just this film made me sad, but not in like my emotion speech sad. It made me sad in the sense that I sort of was questioning the use of 2.5 hours of my life.
So not even big dumb fun energy, eh?
In a productive way.
Not even.
I don't even think it was big dumb fun.
That's a shame.
Like, this is the thing. We watched a bit of Fast and Furious 7, and we had a blast. It was dumb, but we had fun.
Yeah.
And yeah,
I think it's considered the good
it
one
didn't hit me.
because it doesn't have Vin Diesel in it, and the less Vin Diesel in a Fast and Furious film, the better. I believe it's considered by the general populace.
Problematic characters.
Did you see his recent call out to Dwayne Johnson on Instagram? Vin Diesel was like, "Oh, my brother, come back to the franchise that you helped launch, and I need to fight you again, my brother."
You and my kids always talk together every 2 weeks.
Yeah. And then Dwayne Johnson was just like, that was really unprofessional. That was, dude, don't do that. That's so uncool. I'm not going back to your movies. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, they clearly had a fallout. And
Oh, yeah.
Dwayne Johnson was so successful that they sort of had to do a spin-off. And the awkward thing is, as much as I'm not the greatest fan of Ryan Reynolds or Kevin Hart, they're the popular Dons at the minute. I would say they're probably more popular than Vin Diesel. So
Oh, yeah, easily.
if the Fast and Furious is going anywhere, it's going with Dwayne Johnson and sort of leaving Vin Diesel behind, which sucks for Vin.
It's a shame, because I like Vin Diesel when he does his not much vocabulary animated roles. They're his best performances. Groot, in particular, the Iron Giant.
Pacifier.
The Iron Giant is Vin Diesel's best role. I will stand by. Makes me cry every time. But yeah, so like I've seen bits of Hobbs and Shaw, and from what I've seen, Dwayne Johnson
Therefore you've seen
appears to be like a superhero. Like, he jumps out of a building and lands on a car and is fine. Well, not jumps, but he's like thrown out of a building and is
that's just
fine.
the Fast and Furious thing. My favourite thing in like Fast and Furious 7 or whichever one it is, when he like picks up a missile and like launches it at another car. It's just like you could just manhunt. But this is why Luke Hobbs, which is his character, is I think is going to be an interesting one, because he is human, but he's so just godlike. He can literally like hand missiles and control missiles and just take no damage whatsoever. So I feel that that's going to be an interesting. Yeah. I love it when he's
Shazam's lightning bolt.
Daddy's got to go to work. yeah, exactly.
Now, does
so
he have like
one.
because Fast and Furious is supposedly all about cars? Does he have a car in this film, like a vehicle that he spent enough time in to be considered like for our vehicle rule? Or...
He has like a 4x4. Well, not really. It's interesting for a Fast and Furious film. There aren't many cars in the climax. I feel they've got to use cars because they know it's a Fast and Furious film, but it's not really that car orientated. What I find interesting actually is there's a bit where they're kind of walking through Jason Statham's garage of cars, and Dwayne Johnson points to a Mini Cooper, I think, or a Mini, and goes, that's small, sort of, I guess making like a penis joke or whatever.
Yeah.
And Jason Statham's just like, oh yeah, I had to use that for a job in Italy once. And I was like, I know films. I know Jason Statham was in the remake of The Italian Job. I wonder if that's like a nod to a film that's just that the actor was in, but as far as I'm aware, not the character. So it's sort of like a strange reference to a film the character wasn't in, but the actor was. And then he says something like, "Oh, it's a shame you weren't there. We needed somebody who could lift a bus." And if you know the ending of The Italian Job, which is a very iconic ending,
yeah,
I'm like, oh, this is definitely an Italian Job reference then.
Surely, yeah.
And it just amazed me that there was a reference for the actor, but not a reference for the character.
See, that sounds fun to me.
But,
that does sound fun. Oh god.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, did I feel emotion in that? I felt immense confusion.
So what Fast and Furious have technically done there is make The Italian Job, what's considered a fairly great film, a Fast and Furious movie, retroactively.
Yes, but made Jason Statham's character, even though they're two different characters, they've made it the same bit. Very bizarre. Very weird.
Can't wait to watch my favourite Fast and Furious, The Italian
Dwayne Johnson
Job.
used... I wouldn't say Dwayne Johnson used a car that much. So I'm sort of inclined to say no. I can give him... What can I give him? We can give him a handgun, maybe.
Okay, yeah. I just didn't know if he'd was able to qualify for the usual vehicular rule. But okay, so he's on foot with a handgun, and just his Dwayne Johnson.
Hobbs and Shaw. Sadly, I didn't enjoy it.
That's a shame.
I hope. I'm glad if other people did, and that's great, and that's what it's all about. And they clearly made a fairly large sum of money from it. So I'm glad that it worked for other people. It just didn't work for me.
Yeah.
On to the next one.
Right.
We have Hercules.
Ooh.
From the film Hercules, which I think is interesting because Hercules is the famous, I guess, myth that an incredibly strong guy born of the gods with sort of super strength and stamina.
Yeah.
And I just think it was an interesting addition to the Battle Royale.
He's an interesting parallel to Black Adam, I feel. Sort of, godly strength.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm not sure if he's like Superman super strength, but he's just got abnormal strength compared to the average man.
I mean, he was
the
like
average mortal.
The original Superman, essentially, wasn't he? Hercules. If we want to break it down on that level, he was like, ye olde Superman.
Yeah. Yeah, I suppose so. I guess in a mythological sense, yeah, you're right. In terms of the film itself, it's okay. Not many people remember it, and I feel that's a little bit telling. But
is it the
you can have a good time with it, I suppose.
Is it the animated one?
No, it's no. It's like it came out in like 2014.
Oh wow!
And it's like a live action Hercules, but it's not really the traditional Disney story. I think it's sort of they've sort of made a family friendly, sort of gritty version.
Oh, okay, so
I think John Hurt was in it.
Like your 2010s sort of Robin Hood and your all the other sort of
historical, yes.
accurate,
exactly like
version.
That. Yes, I'm not sure how accurate it is, but he's Hercules. He's got super strength. He's going to make a great addition to the Battle Royale.
Yeah.
Next.
That's all there is to say about Hercules. I mean, what
I don't think there's much else to say. You can watch the film if you want.
What are his greatest feats in the film? Like, what is his amazing? What's his biggest strength? What's his? Does he have like any sort of speed at all? What's his like his biggest accomplishment in that film?
He's rumored to kill his family.
Oh, cool. I'm sure that requires some sort of strength, moral. Well, maybe.
But this is the thing. Like, he's not like kind of flying above people. He's not like Superman strength. It's sort of like he's got the strength to like rip chains from walls. He can take on 3 like ginormous dogs at the same time and survive.
Okay.
So he's not like Superman strong, but he's stronger than your average Joe.
Right.
I would almost say he's sort of Luke Hobbs level, even though Luke Hobbs is meant to be he's meant to be sort of a normal person, but he is just God essentially in the films.
Yeah. I guess I was just wondering if there was like a moment where he like lifts like an entire boat over his head or something like that, something mad. But okay.
He rips chains from a wall.
Let's hope he's somehow got chained to a wall at the start of this fight so he can flex on the other gladiators.
Yeah. On to the next one, which is really interesting. Maybe one of the strongest Dwayne Johnson characters.
Oh, okay.
Or should I say, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, WWE wrestler.
Can you smell what The Rock is cooking?
So we're bringing in... Exactly. So we're bringing in the People's Elbow. We're bringing in the Rock Bottom. Some iconic moments from my childhood. WWE wrestler The Rock. We'll give him a title belt. So we'll give him like the WWE Championship to wear. Head trailblazing, eyebrow raising.
Now, as the more experienced wrestling fan, where would you rank The Rock's strength compared to some of our other gladiators?
Well, considering like a chair to the head like basically knocks anyone unconscious in wrestling, the fact that like a stunner will get him a 3 count. He's probably quite weak, but his charisma, his energy, his electrifying nature. I want him to be hitting the Rock Bottom and the People's Elbow on someone. That's sort of my goal for this. For this Battle Royale.
So, but he could be a danger for me for
we can maybe give him a mic. Yeah. We can maybe give him a microphone to do some trash talk. We'll give him the WWE belt as a weapon. Ooh. I think those are fair.
I think his biggest play here is going to be like waiting for a gladiator to be sort of like already sort of weakened in the middle of a battle with someone else. And then classic wrestling style, he comes from out of the ring, from out of nowhere, and like tackles them to the ground.
But also he can like pretend to be injured after like a tiny shot. He gets punched and he can just be on the floor rolling around for ages, pretending he's in agonising pain.
Oh, the footballer's defence.
He's also the most electrifying man. Ooh. So electricity. So I don't know if him and Black Adam have something in common there.
Quite possibly, yeah. Maybe he can like channel it back at him. You know, he absorbs the electricity and that fires it back with his own electric powers.
Quite possibly. So Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Wow.
The Rock has come back. Oh yeah, it's great. It's brilliant. It's brilliant.
Oh, fantastic.
So yeah, he's probably our weakest character yet, which is quite impressive that one of the best professional wrestlers is the weakest.
Does he still have hair at this point in his life? Because I can't recall The Rock.
He's got a thin sort of hairline. I mean, it depends where we'll take him from. We'll take him from I guess we'll take him from like his late, not when he sort of returns to wrestling, but sort of 2000s ish.
Take it from
so
his
he's
prime.
got a bit of thin hairline.
Okay, so the only Rock with hair so far.
So he's the best.
Could that be an advantage?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Quite possibly. But everyone will be envious of him, so they'll all go after him.
No, he'll be ripped apart instantly.
Saying that, The Rock looks good with bald hair. Bald hair. He looks good bald.
Yeah.
And it's a hell of a look. He makes it work. It works. I dig it.
It's the...
moving on.
Yeah.
Someone more in the public eye, I suppose, is Dr. Xander Smolder Bravestone.
Oh, from Jumanji, isn't it? Yeah.
Jumanji.
Yeah.
Jumanji. Because what is it with characters in like pop culture pronouncing the thing that they're in wrong? So we say Jumanji, but in the film they're like Jumanji. In like
Jumanji.
Infinity War, they call like Thanos and
Thanos. In Venom, they call it, or the first one, they call it the symbiote. We've got these symbiotes.
Yes, exactly. That sort of thing. They just like pronouncing things wrong.
Yeah.
Because who are we to decide how something is pronunciated?
And the biggest crime for Matt Smith in Series 7, calling Metabolus 3 Metabolus 3. It's Metabolus 3, Matt. Metabolus, not Metabolus.
Oh.
God.
And there's the Doctor Who reference for this.
What every episode.
Anyway, so quite handy in Jumanji, you have power sets. And we'll take him from the first Jumanji film. So you can, I guess, touch your pec, as he does, and it gives you a literal list of strengths and weaknesses. So his strengths are as follows. Yes. Fearlessness. Climbing. Speed. Boomerang, which he can throw a boomerang, like, immensely well. And smouldering intensity, by which he smoulders, which is sort of the art of sort of looking off intensely and looking cool.
Yeah.
His weaknesses, none. So...
Okay.
Yeah. He's also sort of super... Again, it's sort of like... I guess he's the barrier between... He's stronger than Hercules in the film Hercules, but he's not as strong as, say, Superman. So he's... You know how in Infinity War, Captain America and Black Panther are, like, much faster than the average person? This is sort of him. He's faster than your average Joe.
Yeah.
And he's stronger than your average Joe. And, like, he can punch someone and they'll, like, fly, like, 70 foot into the air.
Yeah. Now, there is something else which may be an ace up his sleeve, because they have lives in the film, don't they? They can, like, die.
Yes.
Is it 4 lives?
Yes.
5 lives? How many lives have they got?
3, I believe. Okay. I believe it's 3 lives.
So that could be an advantage.
You die once you lose a life.
Are we granting him his lives?
I think we can allow him to have 3 lives. Because, I think we can give him 3 lives, because that's very prominent in the film. That's an active sort of, I guess, a power that he has. He has 3 lives. So he can die 3 times. Or is it 4? Is it so he...
I think it's chance. Oh, yeah, it's been a while since I saw it.
We'll work it out. We'll work it out in the battle.
Normally with video game logic,
So, yeah,
you have
he's got-
3 lives, and then, it's your last chance, and then if you die, then you're done. So 4 lives, essentially, is usual video game logic.
So that's Dr. Xander Bravestone. Again, a fierce competitor. We haven't had too many weak characters. The weakest still being The Rock.
Yeah.
It's quite impressive.
Is this our first jungle adventurer
Shall I
Rock
take
as
you
well?
on to-
I think this might be our first jungle
It
adventurer.
might be. I mean, you could maybe say Maui was a bit jungle.
Oh,
Sea,
yeah.
I suppose,
he's
but
kind of jungly. There's a lot of trees on his island.
Hercules is more desert-y. But quite possibly. On to our last gladiator.
Yes.
Now, this is huge.
Oh. Now, there's one person I'm hoping this is, and if it's not, I'll be very very sad.
Go on.
I'm...
Okay.
Yeah. I'll give you a film.
Who do you want?
Mummy 2.
Yes.
Yes!
It is the Scorpion King. For anyone in the Mummy 2, not the spin-off where he's just a normal person, the Mummy 2 version of the Scorpion King, where he is half man, half giant scorpion.
And 100% PlayStation 2 cutscene.
Oh, absolutely. The CGI is not good. But when did it come out? Like early 2000s? I give it a little bit less flack because it did come out so early in the CGI era.
Yeah.
But it's still poor. It's still pretty poor.
They're ambitious.
So yeah, he's like how tall is he? Is he like 20 foot tall, maybe?
He's a big bugger. He's not ginormous, but he's big. He's like...
No. He's like twice the size of a man.
Yeah, he's sort of like...
So maybe like 12 foot, 15 foot. 15 foot, I'd say.
Yeah, that seems about right.
So he has the torso and the head of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, but he has the body, pincers, legs, and scorpion tail of, well, a scorpion. Which is going to be pretty bloody deadly and scary to come across. He's fast. He's got big pincers. He rips someone in half. He can probably sting someone with that tail. I don't think that's...
Probably just stabs them right through with that bad boy.
Yeah, probably, yeah. So he is a very, very dangerous competitor.
Damn, yeah. Oh.
His weakness being spear, but I don't know. I don't think any mortal weapon can really kill him.
It's only that particular
I'm sure
spear,
Black Adam could maybe pull him apart. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, again, he's going to be a really tough one to beat.
Oh, hang on. Yeah.
Black Adam and Krypto...
We're talking about like magic. Black Adam isn't just magic. He's specifically from the Egyptian gods. So maybe he can take the Scorpion King.
Oh, a link.
Yeah.
We have a link, maybe.
Because, like, surely they're on the same sort of god level, if anything. So, yeah, surely Black Adam has a chance. But he's probably the only one who has a chance of taking down the Scorpion King.
I reckon Krypto could do a job on him. I'm sure.
Yeah.
I know no more weapon can kill him, but it's sort of that thing. Well, if you slice his head off and cut him into a million little pieces, I'm not sure he's going to
By our rules, yeah. He'll survive when it's returned to his own universe, but by our rules, he's done.
Yes. So that's all 8 characters. We have Black Adam, Krypto the Superdog, Maui, Luke Hobbs, Hercules, The Rock, Dr. Xander Smolder, Bravestone, the Scorpion King, and now we have a wild card.
Oh, yes, right.
A wild card I'm quite excited about. I think you'll like this. I thought of you, Dan, when I thought of this. So on the Wikipedia section, and you can bring in so many people to fight in this.
Yeah.
But there's somebody who's quite popular at the minute who I wanted to bring in. And on the Wikipedia page, there is a section designated to a feud that Dwayne Johnson had with this person. No, it is not Vin Diesel.
Oh, okay, I was going to say.
He had a feud with one Jonathan Cena.
Oh!
Now, the problem with John Cena is he hasn't had many acting roles, so the chances of him being in one of our podcasts, at least for a good few years, is probably not going to be likely.
Yeah.
So why not bring his most famous character, very popular at the moment, into this battle royale?
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, Peacemaker is entering the Battle Royale.
Do you want to taste it, Max? Do you want to taste it?
Do you want to do... Yeah. I've started... I mean, we've got to be... I think we should be more careful of spoilers in this one, because this is something that is currently coming out, and I think a lot of people are going to be interested in.
And we in the UK
we'll try and stay
we have
spoiler-free.
no legal means of watching it, so of course we haven't seen any of it, have we, Max?
No. Fuck. No, I haven't seen it, actually.
I've seen the title sequence, because that's on like YouTube and stuff, and from that alone I was sold.
Yeah, I've seen the title sequence.
Yeah, the title sequence alone sold me, because it was just beautiful.
Well, to take it back to the Suicide Squad,
Yes.
Suicide Squad was one of my favourite films of last year, if not my favourite film of last year, which is controversial, but I had such a
It was
blast
great.
with the Suicide
I saw
Squad.
it twice on the same day. That's how much I loved it. I got out of it, went right
Nice,
back into it
nice.
again. It was fantastic.
And of course, we met one of the stars not too long ago. We met Peter
We
Capaldi,
did, yes.
which is a great experience.
We bumped into Peter.
that was exciting.
Bumped into, borderline chased him down in London, but
No, we were respectful. We were
we
respectful.
were. And yeah, we respected him.
He's really nice. He's as nice as the media claims him to be. He's very nice.
He was. I was very worried for a moment, because I thought that he thought I was press or something, but then I just told him how I was like...
Yeah, because you look like press.
But I just told him about how, I was his, biggest fan and everything, and because he was such an inspiration to me, which is true.
And you guys
It was lovely. We got...
You guys sort of advertised Tesco orange juice
We
together,
did.
which is a bit weird. I think I've still got the picture. So yeah, that was a good day. Peacemaker is... How would you describe Peacemaker?
Peacemaker is a fantastic satire, I guess, in a way, of like how America views its military, where we bring peace to the world. We don't care how many people we have to kill to get it. We're going to bring peace, motherfuckers, even if you're all dead. And he's just hilarious. He's more or less your standard. He's not got his superpowers, but he's great with a gun. He's sort of like peak human strength kind of deal. And he's got he looks great in tighty whities. What can we say? He's shows up in tighty whities on multiple times. He looks great.
Yeah, fair enough. So I think what we'll do, we'll give him a couple of his guns. I think he's got plenty of ammunition for his guns. He's got a helmet.
Yes.
Which I guess could be a good shield.
He's got like that little
That
like
helmet.
knife thing too, doesn't he? Because there's that bit where him and Idris Elba are having the kill off in Suicide Squad. He just like axed the dude from like groin to throat.
Yes. Yes, so he's got an arsenal of weapons.
Yeah.
He's got no moral ambiguity. So he's going to go straight in there and he's just going to start popping bullets, really.
Yeah, he can take out
So I think he's
more sort of
well-versed.
competitors. He could take out Hobbs. He could take out The Rock.
Yeah, he's going to give them a challenge.
Yeah.
So, with all that being said, shall we get down to business?
Well, we need to decide the arena
to
first of all.
defeat the Huns. Yes, and I came up with an arena and then I've immediately forgotten it. Which is
I
good.
would say one arena would suggest itself, given how Dwayne is famous for playing mostly jungle adventurer roles, and that would be a jungle.
Yes, okay. I was thinking a WWE ring, but I think that might be too cramped.
We could do a WWE ring in the jungle.
I like the jungle. Ooh, okay. Okay, yeah, let's do that. Do they all start inside the ring, or do they sort of start out?
I think they start in the ring, and they can decide if they want to stay in there or if they want to like scarper for the trees and
It'll be very cramped, so I think they're all going to scarper pretty quickly. But yeah, fuck it. Let's put them in a WWE ring, sized ring, inside a jungle. There'll be sort of a grassland where it's open. There'll be sort of a forest area. Let's say there's a cliff nearby, just to give it some variety. There's a waterfall. So all you can experience from a jungle. Maybe some mountains a bit off in the distance. So there's a whole array of different areas they can use for their own advantage.
Yeah.
So they're in a jungle, in a WWE ring. They're all very cramped together. They all spawn, and the bell rings.
Ding ding. Match begins. Gun
Now,
goes off.
Yeah. I have thought about this.
Right.
So I think we've always got to establish who's going to be quick to the draw. And of those quickest, who are they going to target, really?
Okay, this is an interesting. We've got a lot of godly competitors on the field, so this is going to be absolute carnage.
Yes. So we've got. Actually, the Scorpion King might have to spawn outside the ring because he's so huge.
So the Scorpion King will say spawns in like the trees in a distance. So he's charging towards the ring, but they've got some time. Yeah.
Yeah, so we got Black Adam, Crypto the Superdog, Maui, Luke Hobbs, Hercules the Rock, Xander Smolder Bravestone, the Scorpion King, and Peacemaker.
Now, I feel Black Adam is going to start sort of doing his villainous grandstanding, asking them all to bow before him, that kind of stuff, which prompts Crypto, being the superdog that he is, he's going to go for Black Adam, which gives, the other more mortal competitors a chance to get out of the ring before they're all disintegrated by Black Adam.
Okay, so maybe Black Adam starts a violent act. Crypto the Superdog can suss this out. Now, something I did research is something Superman or Crypto might do to defeat Black Adam is to basically push him off into the sun.
Ooh.
So I'm theorising that as Black Adam goes to make the first strike, say on Hercules or Luke Hobbs, before he can, Crypto the Superdog just smashes into him and they just zoom off into space. And they have a little battle in space while the mortals stay in the jungle.
So they've immediately left the ring.
Or Crypto. Essentially, yeah. They've shot off into space.
Yeah. Okay.
So we've got two sections of the fight. We've got a fight going in space towards the sun and all the humans in the jungle.
Should we set a limit on how high they can go, like with our godly powers, so they don't get too far away from the other competitors, or shall we just let them go off into space? Because I was thinking like they're stopped by just above the tree line, so they've got.
A force field. Okay, yeah. Let's stop them in the force. But they're sort of like fighting in the sky.
Yeah, they're out of the way of the other competitors, but not too far. They can feasibly get knocked back into the ground to fight another one of our gladiators. So Crypto's knocked Black Adam off of this grandstanding into the tree line. They're having a fight. Laser beams and lightning bolts flying everywhere. Meanwhile, on the ground, they're all bolting for it. They're trying to get to safety, work out what they're going to do next.
Yeah.
Now,
the Scorpion King bursts out of the trees.
Oh, Jesus.
They all crap themselves. And who does the Scorpion King get?
Let's see. I think he's going to go for... Well, who do he go for? Because he just sort of kills fairly indiscriminately. Is he going to want to go for the more human characters?
Well, I would say... Well, I feel Xander Bravestone may be the quickest of them all on the ground. So he's going to get out of the ring and he's going to run the furthest from the ring. So he's probably going to be the first person the Scorpion King bumps into. So maybe he gives a bit of a snip to Xander Bravestone.
Okay, yeah. So before he has a chance to react, he's snipped in half, dead, but he then respawns. Where's he going to respawn?
But do you remember how he respawns? He respawns from the sky.
He does, he plummets.
So this can be an interesting thing. While Crypto and Black Adam are fighting, maybe Black Adam is sort of tackled in midair by Dr. Xander Bravestone.
Okay. Oh, okay, so maybe, he tackles him to the ground, and if they respawn in the ring, that, drags Black Adam back into the rest of the ring, just as the Scorpion King emerges from the trees. Which puts the two Egyptian gods in direct path with each other.
Now, it's a fight to the death, and they're both quite arrogant people, so I feel they're going to maybe try and go for each other.
Oh, yeah. They're no hesitating, just going to go for it.
So everyone else is just, scattered into the trees.
Yeah. Now, Peacemaker...
And Black Adam versus the Scorpion King.
Yeah, I was going to say, Peacemaker, he's a professional, he knows what he's doing, so I feel he's going to scope out where the others have gone and sort of maybe start pursuing them one by one. But meanwhile, whilst he's doing that, we have Black Adam versus the Scorpion King. Holy shit! What a SmackDown!
Yeah. What's going to happen there? Because, I mean,
so I feel
realistically, Black Adam can just like punch a hole through the Scorpion King.
Quite possibly.
However, I feel the Scorpion King he's quite nimble. So maybe Black Adam kind of zooms up to him, zooms like into him, but Scorpion King might dodge out of the way quite nimbly, might throw his stinger tail, Black Adam sort of dodges it, doesn't get stung, or if he does get stung, it doesn't really affect him, so they're swinging back and forth, Scorpion King's dodging, flailing his scorpion tail, until eventually, I suppose Black Adam manages to just blast through the Scorpion King's sternum.
Quite possibly. I think he blasts him with his lightning. It's not having much effect. So he goes for zooming into him. Maybe the Scorpion King tries to grab him with his pincers, and then Black Adam just grabs the pincers and just like rips them off.
Yeah,
and then
snaps it in half.
Straight through his sternum, like you say, just
puts him in a boiling pot. Oh wait, no, that's that's lobster.
Yeah, I think he goes straight through him, like you say, after ripping off his pincers. You know, it's a mess. He's got a hole in his chest. His claws have been ripped off. He's done for. And then he grabs him by the tail and swings him into Crypto, who is above them, flying down to see what the damage is.
I was going to say, where's Crypto? Because this could be a good chance for Crypto to kind of sneak up on Black Adam. Or is Black Adam sussing that and throwing the Scorpion King towards him?
I think Crypto has been keeping an eye, and he's zooming towards the situation, and only to be have a dismembered Scorpion Man thrown at him. Which, yes, he could probably dodge it, and it wouldn't do much damage if it did, but it's just the disrespect to the Scorpion King that Black Adam shows, you know, the final spit on his corpse. And yeah, Scorpion King is eliminated. And
then Black Adam and Crypto continue fighting in the main ring, really. So, Peacemaker, as you said, is targeting people.
Yes.
Who do you think he's going to target? I feel Hercules looks very godly, very intimidating. He's only got a melee weapon, really. I feel like he's going to be easy pickings for Peacemaker.
Okay. But does he have any sort of extra durability as a champion of the gods, Hercules, or whatever he is?
I'm not sure he could necessarily take on an array of bullets.
Okay.
I reckon they'd do a number on him.
I was thinking maybe
he starts charged. Go on.
I was thinking maybe Peacemaker identifies the threat to peace as the criminal, Luke Hobbs. He goes, he's a criminal. He needs to be brought to justice. Oh, so he goes after him.
A policeman once turned criminal as well.
Oh, okay, yeah. So
policeman once turned criminal.
So maybe he would go for him first.
Does he run up to Luke Hobbs, rugby tackles into the ground? They have like a fight.
Because Peacemaker tries to, as a former cop, Peacemaker gives him a chance. He's like, you were a cop once, Hobbs. I'll give you a chance to surrender. That's why he doesn't just shoot him straight away. And then Hobbs is like, whatever the fuck Hobbs says. Nah.
So he goes to rugby tackle him, sort of undamaged because he just is. They have a fight to the death. Essentially, they throw punches. They're not in the ring, but they essentially use the jungle surrounding the forest area as a ring, so they can climb up the trees and jump off the top rope.
The vines can be like the edge of the ring, the little ropes on the edge of the ring. They can put vines around and act as that.
I guess Peacemaker's been disarmed. Maybe Hobbs has hurled Peacemaker's gun away. So they're throwing hands at each other. Is there possibly... Because let's see, who's stronger? I'd say Hobbs is probably stronger than Peacemaker.
I think Peacemaker's a fairly standard dude, whereas Hobbs, he's basically a superhuman in those films. So he probably has the edge in a hand-to-hand fight. So does Hobbs
just start... So Hobbs, does a flip, wrestling manoeuvres over him, slams him to the ground, starts beating him to a pulp. Little does Luke Hobbs know that behind him, sort of... fidgeting very heavily, like crouching down slightly, waiting for him to turn around, is WWE wrestler The Rock. Luke Hobbs gets a whiff of this, turns around, straight into a rock bottom, onto the floor, and then followed by a people's elbow. And he goes to the rock bottom. He's on the floor. He looks up at the surrounding area. He points to some of the vines. He rips off one of his elbow pads, throws it into the audience, and then sort of runs, bounces against one vine, jumps over Luke Hobbs, bounces off the other vine, and then hits him with an elbow in the chest.
Oh.
And he goes for the 3 count. And I think it's a 3 count.
Do you? Or
not that means anything.
It maybe it is. Or one final counter I'd propose is: does Hobbs not call upon his amazing super healing ability and just go, "Time to go to work," and then just bolts up?
Daddy's got to go to work. Does he kick out of the 2 count then?
Yeah,
he kicks out of the 2 count.
But he's taken a beating, so he's winded a little bit. He's like, "Oh shit, I need to rethink this." So it's Peacemaker and The Rock versus winded Luke Hobbs. Now, at this point, I think The Rock's had his glory. I feel there's not much longer he's going to last. I feel he's probably pile-drived into a tree by Luke Hobbs. And that's more or less the end for I don't know. The Rock.
Okay, yeah, so Hobbs just kicks out of the 2 count, beats the shit out of him, steals the microphone, say, "Daddy's got to go to work," and then just starts plummeting The Rock, pile drives him into a tree, neck crack.
Yeah, it's
basically dead. I will say though. If The Rock is dead, and it's taken all this time for Luke Hobbs to deal so much damage...
Oh, yeah.
Has Peacemaker not had the time to get his gun, even beaten to a pulp, crawl along the floor, retrieve his gun, and,
exactly what I was thinking.
A few bullets?
Yeah, exactly what I was thinking. I think Luke Hobbs stands up, seemingly triumphant from his victory, and then... bam! A bullet straight through his throat. Another one through the head, and then a few more in the chest for good measure. And Peacemaker stands behind him with his iconic big old handgun thing he's got. And yeah, that's the end of Luke Hobbs. Collapses on top of the bloodied corpse of The Rock.
Yeah, I buy that. So what else happens here? We've got Dr. Xander Smolder Bravestone. Who I guess has just stood back up after kind of falling from a great height and dusted himself off. He now only has 2 lives.
We can only hope he crawled out of the ring before the whole Scorpion King versus Black Adam fight. Otherwise, he would have probably been.
Yes, let's say because he is in the film. He is played by a child, so he's probably very cowardly. He's probably hiding underneath the ring. I'd say he's hiding underneath the ring, which does happen in wrestling.
Okay, yeah. So
he's hiding, cowering underneath the ring.
Meanwhile, Crypto and Black Adam are still in the ring above him, fighting. Was where we last left them.
We have Maui and Hercules, who are yet to do anything yet. Now, Maui is quite powered. He can change into an animal. Is he?
So I feel...
He's also quite cowardly.
Yeah.
But he's also quite... he also comes into fight when it's necessary. So maybe he's disguised himself as an animal in the trees. And is just waiting for the opportune moment to strike. Now, he's watching Black Adam versus Crypto the Superdog, and he sees how Black Adam just tore apart the Scorpion King. Is he going to wait for the perfect moment to Ant-Man him?
I think he is. I think he transforms into a bullet ant, which famously live in jungles and have the most powerful bite of any creature. Yep. So yeah, he's in bullet ant form, ready to crawl up Black Adam's arse and turn into an elephant or something.
Yep.
So he's waiting on that. Now, I do feel a Maui versus Hercules fight is a natural matchup to sort of not overpowered but powerful demigods. They're sort of the same power set, kind of, or power level. I feel.
Who? Sorry.
Hercules and Maui. So they're both they're not gods, but they're demigods. They're sort of powerful, but not too powerful.
Yeah.
So I feel like Hercules does size up Maui as someone he could take out. But the question is, Maui's in ant form, so how's he going to find him? He's just wandering around.
I was going to say, I don't think Hercules can find Maui, to be honest.
I've got it.
What do we think Hercules is doing at the moment?
Maybe, right? So before he turns into an ant form, he's in monkey form hiding. And he spots Hercules looking for him. And he foolishly thinks he can trap Hercules by getting some vines together and just lashing him with like a ton of vines and pulling him into the trees, seemingly trapping him with a bunch of vines that no mortal could break free from. However, this is Hercules, whose 1 feat of strength wants to pull chains out of a wall. So he pulls the vines out of the trees. But yeah, so he's broken free. He's shut off his 1 strength. I think now he can die now. I don't care.
I think. Fair enough. Well, I think if Hercules and Maui got into a fight, I think it's easily Maui. I know he's a Disney dude, but he can transform into any animal, and he does it very tactically. So he'll like transform into a bird. He'll fly really close to the enemy, transform back into a human with his hook, smack them, and then transform back into a bird and fly off. So
okay, shall I say that's what he does here?
And Maui's got a giant hook, and it's a big hook. It's a big hook. Yeah. It's like it's nearly the size of Moana. So you could argue that it's like a 4-foot hook. Oof. It's like huge. I feel that Maui takes this one.
Yeah. So let's say he does that. Hercules is broken free, but then Maui does the classic eagle man hook combo and just takes off Hercules' head with a swift blow from his hook. And he's done for. It's barely even a fight. No. And he goes back into
interesting.
ant form.
He does. So he does. Say he oh, okay. Well, I was thinking if he does the eagle trick, he turns into a bit. It's sort of like an eagle, sort of looks a bit griffiny because there's a bit of a mane, but I think it's an eagle probably. He turns into the eagle, smacks him with the hook, kills him, turns back into an eagle. Does Peacemaker see the eagle? Of
course, yes.
And mistake it for his pet eagle.
Of course.
Well, maybe he wouldn't mistake it for his pet eagle, but he would see, a lovely eagle.
I think he would. He'd see it as a sign that America is here to support him, and he tries to find the eagle. Yeah.
Would he maybe... So here's my thing. Would Maui... Okay, so Maui's an eagle. Would Peacemaker run to find Maui as an eagle, where Maui can sort of betray him and kill Peacemaker, or does it just inspire Peacemaker so much that Peacemaker just runs into battle against Black Adam and Crypto the Superdog?
I was thinking sort of somewhere in the middle. Maybe Maui clocks that Peacemaker's following him, and he's quite manipulative and Peacemaker's pretty dumb, so maybe he goes up to Peacemaker in eagle form and tricks him into going into battle against Black Adam, knowing that he's gonna get killed fairly quickly, but that just saves Maui a job later on. He doesn't have to kill Peacemaker if Black Adam kills
Peacemaker. Peacemaker approaches Black Adam, shoots bullets into his chest. Of course, that does nothing. Do we say Black Adam just tears apart Peacemaker?
I think he does.
Absolutely brutalises him.
I think he does the trick from the teaser where he just grabs him by the throat and then just blasts him with energy, just turns him into a skeleton and then crushes his skull and just throws it to the ground. And he's done.
But in the distraction, fair enough. In the distraction, does Maui sneak up Black Adam's ass?
I think he does, yeah. He's not going to notice the bullet.
Is that his moment of distraction?
I think it is, yeah.
Yeah, as the bullet ant.
As the bullet ant, he goes straight up. He finds a crease or a tear in Black Adam's costume from his fight so far. Goes through that straight up his ass, and yeah. And
as Crypto is about to smacks Black Adam in the face after killing Peacemaker so brutally, Black Adam just implodes.
Yeah,
and Maui stands there, like. Hi.
I think he plays it safe. He turns to a fuck off huge elephant just to really rip apart Black Adam. Make sure he's totally jammed against the trees. He's raspberry jam all over the wrestling ring. And then turns back.
Crypto is completely taken back. Has no idea what the hell just happened. Maybe cries a little bit.
No, Crypto.
So we have
Don't cry.
Crypto the Superdog, Maui, and Xander Bravestone with 2 lives remaining.
Now, I feel that as an elephant, this wrestling ring is going to collapse So the rest of the ring collapses.
Yeah, okay.
Crushes Xander Bravestone just cowering beneath
does
it.
Crushing Xander Bravestone.
Costing him another life.
And he flies down from the sky.
Yeah.
Crushing the dog, but it's a super dog, so it doesn't really hit him that much.
Well, that's true. It's fine.
It crushes him, but it doesn't hit him.
If anything...
Now, here's an interesting thing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I was going to say, if anything, him falling from that great a height onto Krypto the Superdog, the dog of steel, so to speak, would bring up the age-old, can Superman really catch people the way he does? Or would the force of his metal arms rip them in half? So, I'm not going to cost Xander
Bravestone's got to be given some... No, I think you got, like when you respawn after a game, it gives you a couple of seconds to get your bearings, so you're sort of invincible for those few seconds. I think it's the same with Bravestone.
Yeah.
My question is, so you've got Bravestone, Krypto, and Maui all in the same ring together.
Oh.
Equal width apart. What happens? Because this is a really interesting one.
Now, I feel Krypto is our strongest competitor still standing, so I feel that he's got the edge here.
Yes.
But can Maui, I don't know, out-trick him? Because Krypto has seen the whole
I was thinking,
trick.
if you're going to attack Superman, the way you attack Superman is the heart. The heart, Osborn. Go for the heart. Does Maui transform into Dog Lois Lane? Or just Dog Woman? Generic Dog Woman?
Oh. Lois Lane's dog.
As a sort of manipulation.
I think he tries it, but
he wouldn't know Lois Lane. Lane.
I think he's a smart boy. Maui tries it and it throws Krypto slightly, but I don't think it puts him off enough to totally dissuade him. It gives Maui an opening, but the question is, what does he do with the opening? Maybe he swings his big hook at Krypto, tries to get a blow in.
Well, this is the thing. I want to be completely unbiased, but he's got an opening.
Yeah.
What did he do last time when there was an opening?
Well, he tried the whole
went inside
ants trick. But the question is, now, here's something that was brought up as a counter to the Ant-Man versus Thanos thing. Krypto is a dog of steel, essentially, right? So if he is so strong on the outside, and Maui really isn't. Maui's powerful, but he's not as durable as that. What's to say that him expanding inside Krypto isn't just going to crush Maui horribly as he tries to expand, essentially killing him?
It's a tricky one because it worked for Black Adam.
Yeah.
But is one of Black Adam's powers that he's got super strong skin like Superman?
He does have durability like Shazam. I don't know if it's as powerful as Superman, but it is durable.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it was as powerful as Superman.
No. The question is,
I would say, okay, let's say he does it, but it just doesn't work, and then he just kind of flops back out injured.
Yeah, Krypto's, he's feeling a bit ill. His organs been all smushed up slightly, so he's a bit not dead, but he's injured. And so is Maui. They're both injured.
And Maui's probably injured.
Yeah,
but Dr. Xander Bravestone is not injured.
Is this his opening?
This is his opening. Would he not go for the strongest person? Would he not go after Krypto?
I think he lifts...
Or would he go after Maui, actually?
I think he lifts up the hook from Maui as his weapon. He takes it while Maui is injured.
Boomerang, he can boomerang it.
He does have a boomerang.
And this is something he does in the film. So he can hit both of them with the hook.
Ooh, okay. So he throws the hook.
In a sort of boomerang style.
So he throws the hook. It goes, shall we say, it goes through Maui, because Maui has been a bit of a trickster, so he wants to take him out while he's got the chance. Krypto, he knows, is a dog with superpowers, but Maui could turn into an ant any second. So he takes his opening, he throws it at Maui first. And, I feel this is probably the end for Maui. It goes through his chest, maybe.
Yeah. The tragic irony of him dying by his own sword.
Yeah, exactly. Takes out his rib cage. He's ripped, totally hole through the chest. He's done for. Now, as the boomerang is returning towards Krypto, I bring up the Snyder Cut once again because you see, if you recall in
God.
Steppenwolf has a big old axe which he hits Superman with, which Superman simply breathes on to turn to ice and then smashes it. Now, my question is, can Krypto do the same thing with this hastily approaching boomerang hook? I think he can.
Quite, but it is made from the gods, but Maui has died tragically.
Yeah.
So, I would say regardless, say he catches it in his mouth and then just sort of throws it away.
Oh.
Regardless if it's destroyed or not, it is no longer in use, and it is just Dr. Xander Bravestone with one life, which I guess means he can die twice.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if he's got 3 lines on his wrist, you can technically die 4 times.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
So yeah, I think...
So Krypto versus Xander Bravestone.
Krypto fairly quickly just, laserizes
and Krypto just lasers him.
Yeah, just lasers him straight in half.
Lasers him.
And then... Question: is it just him, Krypto, waiting around for him to respawn and then killing him again?
Yeah, quite possibly. He's immediately respawns, but Krypto just flies into him.
Yeah.
Crushing him up against the windshield.
Yeah.
Not the windshield, the sort of dome that's caught, stopping them escaping.
It's brutal.
Xander falls back to the floor into the ring. Does Krypto, in honour of Dwayne Johnson, a character that he doesn't know, or appears he doesn't know, does he do like a flying top rope WWE manoeuvre or a tombstone pile driver or something?
I think he does. Yeah,
he has fun with it. Xander can fight back. I'd like there being a bit more of a fight. Normally when it's the last 2 people left, it's someone weak versus someone overly strong. And it's sort of in this case, but I like the idea that Xander's throwing punches, Krypto's dodging them, and there's a laser that Xander maybe dodges, and they're having a real fight at it. But of course, it's only a matter of time before Krypto gets the kick in the chest. Xander falls to the floor. Krypto goes to the top rope, does a flying frog splash maneuver on top of him. Xander is in a lot of pain. Krypto standing over him, and well.
Does he even
how would Krypto mercifully kill a man?
I think he does the 3 count just to rub it in. He does if they're fighting in the ring, he does the 3 count, and then I think a merciful kill, a simple lobotomy. He uses his laser eyes straight through the brain. A simple lobotomy to
nice,
as painlessly as possible.
And therefore,
kill
Krypto, the super dog, is the winner of today's Battle Royale.
Krypto, the super dog. Woo! The dog wins.
What a fight!
Yeah.
That was a great Battle Royale. The dog does win.
Fantastic.
Is John Wick one of our Battle Royales? Didn't he? So
he
it'd be
did,
interesting
which
for
means
Krypto
our
and
champion of
John Wick
champions
in the arena.
I don't think John Wick could be able to do it. I mean, A, power level, and B, it's a dog.
No.
Yeah.
But we've got some good competition for some of our ugly godly characters.
We have. Our champion of champions has currently got a god, a venomized bedtime stories, a super dog,
John Wick,
yeah,
a vampire,
and a vampire disguised as a regular human bartender.
Nice.
Wow. Oh.
So who do we think was the standout in that one? I think Maui did great. I think Maui's my man of the match.
Yeah. Yeah, obviously Krypto won, but I think Maui got the most proportional number of
he got 3 kills, I think.
Yeah.
Killed Black Adam.
He killed Black Adam, yeah.
Scorpion King I was a bit disappointed with.
I was going to say that too, yeah. I was hoping Scorpion King would get a few more kills in, but he got sort of eviscerated fairly quickly by Black Adam.
Yeah. But again, it's what I always say, if you're the meanest looking, you're sometimes in a lot of trouble.
Yeah. In a way, Xander Bravestone kind of led to that, because if he hadn't spawned and pulled Black Adam to the ring, then that fight never would have happened at that point, so...
Yeah, it's interesting. Sometimes it happens. I try and approach this as unbiasedly as possible. It's very difficult. But yeah, Scorpion King was tricky. I thought Peacemaker did it well.
Yeah.
The wild cards haven't been a great success, but I think Peacemaker got to the final 4 or 5.
Peacemaker's like our second best in terms of performance, in terms for our wild cards, I think.
Yeah,
last week's
probably.
lasted longer, but they didn't really do much. They just stood there in disguise.
Yeah.
Yeah, a thoroughly good matchup. I shall check the old
Do we know?
Twitter polls.
Yes. Do we know how the Twitter feed was?
Now, I'm hoping
I'll check
people
the
voted,
emails.
because let's see. Holy shit. So, spoilers for last week's episode, although I guess we sort of spoiled our previous episodes already, whoops. According to the Twitter poll, our four top were Lucy, Ash the Porcupine, Scarlet Tree Hansen, and Major. Ash the Porcupine winning the poll. So our Twitter is jazz_lasagna. I'll put up a poll for this on Monday, so you can let us know if you agree with our ruling or if you think another gladiator should have won. Yeah.
Yes, or email us at jazzlasagna@gmail.com.
Indeed.
And yeah.
Thank you for listening to this week's Fightography, and indeed every week if you're following us loyally. If this is your first episode, hope you liked it. Stick with us. And yeah, Crypto the Superdog is the winner of the Dwayne Johnson Fightography. See you next week. Ta-ra.
Goodbye.